Am I the a-hole for calling my sister bitter and telling her she should examine her parenting instead of going off on other people? My sister and I had our sons around the same time. My nephew turned 7 in October and my son turns 7 next month. I was 20 when I had my son, and this was a big deal with my sister. She's 10 years older than I am and really had no expectations when it came to me as a mum. She predicted I would end up single and my son's dad would bail and that I would give up within the first year. Instead, we are married and we had 2 little girls after our son. We are very different parents. My sister is very strict and regimented as a mum and has a lot of rules and swift, harsh punishments for bad behavior or any subpar behavior. My husband and I would probably fall more into a gentle parenting kind of deal. We teach our kids how to act in public, but we do so in a very different way to my sister and her husband. My nephew can be very challenging, and he's an angry little boy. I suspect it's because his parents are often angry, and he is picking up on that and building resentment, which has made his behavior worse. Our parents have brought this up to my sister in the past, and she has told them it's not true, and claimed my son behaves far worse, despite them saying it's not even close to the truth. Our parents had both boys on Saturday, and my sister and I arrived at the same time to pick them up. Our parents' elderly neighbour approached my sister and told her that she should have a word with her son, because of how rude and disrespectful he is to others. My sister told the neighbour that she had the wrong sister, and my son was the kid who gets into trouble. The neighbour said she knows the boys apart and knows who the mum to each is. She told my sister that my son was very sweet and showed no disrespect the way her son did. My sister was furious. The neighbour told her that thanking someone, my son, for picking something up for her does not warrant being yelled at and cursed at by a small child. Apparently, my nephew got an attitude and told her nobody has to help her because she's old and can't do anything for herself. My sister went off on the neighbour and said her son is so much better behaved and accused her of spreading lies. The neighbour walked away mid-tirade, and then my sister started to turn on me, and instead of letting her, I said she needs to stop being so bitter and examine her parenting instead of going off on people who complain about her son's behaviour. I told her I would not let her take it out on me, that she was wrong about me as a mum, and that I feel like a lot of her anger comes down to that. That she hates that I don't get the same comments. She tried to yell at me, but I just got my son off our parents and left. My parents asked me what happened, and I told them. They said I did nothing wrong, but my sister and her husband are both now coming for me for what I said. And they told me it wasn't my place to say all that disrespectful stuff. AITA? ETA. My parents are supportive, and it was my sister and her husband who told me it wasn't my place. I realize now I did not make that super clear in the end. Denial is a powerful river. I think your read on the situation is a good one, and shows that you know more about effective parenting than your sister. Children's behavior, especially small children, is often a direct reflection of how the parent acts around them. Good on you for raising a kind little boy. Keep it up. NTA. Know more about effective parenting than your sister. And deep down, sis knows this. But she thinks that because she's older, she's automatically smarter and knows better. Any evidence to the contrary basically pulls the rug out from under her worldview. She doesn't want to feel inadequate to someone that she feels like she's supposed to be better than, so she prefers to live in denial and lash out. All that to say that OP is not the a-hole, and everyone who isn't living in or around denial can see that. In my experience, Nobody gets touchier and more defensive about what amazing parents they are than the parents of badly behaved kids they can't handle. I've seen this several times in the context of a kid who ignores their lousy parent, but suddenly behaves remarkably better with the person who uses proper child guidance techniques. The parents get almost offended that whatever unhealthy or inattentive control tactics, which people have often been trying to address with them for years, as in this case, are so obviously not working. And the gentle science-based methods they've been sneering at and rejecting do. It's predictable, but still frustrating and sad. The thing is, the gentle science-based method is often a lot more work than whatever they are doing. Half of it is working on yourself, being in tune with your emotions and modeling the behavior you want to see, 24/7, or as much as you can manage. Everybody slips up sometimes. And the other half is building a relationship of mutual trust with your child, which can be an uphill battle if you start that when your child is old enough to be used to the old way. It's so much easier to just bring down the hammer whenever they do something you don't like. Thank you for the encouraging words. I hate being right about it. I wish my sister could just focus on being the best parent to her kids instead of becoming so fixated and bitter that she was wrong about me. It's not fair for the kids at all.